welcome to Hot News. We are live on Pan-African Television. We are coming to you from our studios in Abelemkpe, 48 Swanika Street here in Accra. Let me remind you that the program is live on Facebook at Pan-African Television. We are live on YouTube at Pan-African Television. The program is also interactive. You can as well send in your views, comments, suggestions, questions, and whatnot on our social media pages, Facebook, Instagram, and on Twitter. We'll make a time and read all those out for you. You can also connect to us via our WhatsApp / text line on 0260846539, 0260846539. My name is Justice Appiah, and tonight on Hot News, we are having a one-on-one conversation. And what is this conversation about? We are looking at the bid by lawyer Fattah Al-Hassan, popularly known as Jofa. I hope I've gotten it right.
That's right.
Who is the parliamentary candidate on the ticket of the National Democratic Congress for Yendi constituency. We are looking at his bid, his decision to go to parliament. Couldn't he have helped in other ways than going to parliament and all of that? What are some of the reasons why he would want to serve the people of Yendi and all those things? So keep your messages coming in on 0260846539, 0260846539. You can as well leave your suggestions, questions, comments, and your views, everything on our Facebook live post at Pan-African Television on Facebook. We'll make a time and read all those out for you. We've been joined once again in the studio by lawyer Fattah Al-Hassan, popularly known as Jofa. Lawyer, good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you so much for making time with us tonight.
Thank you too for having me here tonight.
How's the constituency?
By His grace, Yendi people are doing well. Let me start by saying good evening to the overlord of Dagbon, Yana, and to my father, Alaja Chilu, and all the family, my NDC family, especially Chairman Yahoo and his team, and all the NDC supporters within Yendi, and NPP supporters, both men and women, all the sub-chiefs of Yendi, almost everybody.
Well, I can see lawyer is a very humble, gentleman who wants to serve his people. You want to say something?
No, I was just continuing with the greeting. Greetings never end.
Exactly.
I was just in Yendi, so I wanted to come outside Yendi.
Okay.
So Tamale Regional Chairman, Chairman Mobila, good evening to you and your team. And then coming up here, my family is in Koforidua too. I have another family, my sister, and the children, Asia Sahara. Another good evening to you too.
Where in Koforidua actually?
Around 2 streams.
Okay, that's for me. I'm a Koforidua.
I've stayed there before too. And then my sweet wife Aisha, she's here with me.
Let me say a very good evening to the families in Yendi and to the families in Koforidua. Very, very, very soon. When I'm in Koforidua, I'll definitely pass by.
That's
beautiful and then sumptuous, and that's my favorite food anyway. Now, let's quickly move to business and look at your decision to go to Parliament. Why Parliament?
Thanks so much. Life begins at some point and then graduates. I see my decision at the moment to go to Parliament as one that is in response to several calls that have been made to me.
Okay. What from those calls?
From the constituents. I've had a lot of interactions with people, and I've throughout my life I've been in one leadership position or the other, especially in school. Primary school, I was a leader, JSS, SSO, and most people approach me and they say, "Oh, you were superb. The way you led, it really brought out a lot of, made a lot of impact in people's lives." And so, even from the MPP side, people will approach you and say, "Why don't you take a bite at your party's leadership position?" And I came close to that. I became a bit involved in party politics actively in 2016 when I was helping our candidate then, Alhaji Hamza Alikali.
Okay.
And then during those times, people would normally say, "Oh, you two try and take a bite at it next time." And so I've seen that people have seen some potential in me. And so when the society begins to call you towards some direction, I think it's only fit and proper that you respond in that order. And so this is my decision is just in response to that call.
The decision is in response to calls made by the people in the constituency for you to lead them. Now, let's look at your service to the National Democratic Congress. What specifically have you done for the National Democratic Congress? I mean, have you held some, leadership positions in the party?
I've always been a private person.
Okay.
And when I took that decision to go into active politics, it was the talk of town.
Okay.
To a lot of people. People felt, no, this guy has not been involved in politics before. I've never held any party position.
Okay.
Not even at the constituency, not even at the branch level. But I've supported in my own small way, because when I completed school, I was in a private company, limited liability company. So I was doing, I didn't have anything to do with politics. And this is a company that reveres itself so much, MTN. So usually it doesn't want people within it to go into politics. So I was a bit private on that. But I kept giving the necessary support that I was supposed to give to the party. In 2016, like I said, I was always with the parliamentary candidates then, and whatever support I could muster for him, I did provide. I supported the party functions in the constituency and a lot of things. And so, but I have not actively been involved in party politics before this time.
Well, but one would say, because sometimes when you have people who have not been in the limelight, especially not actively involved in partisan politics, and all of a sudden they've just popped up to lead a constituency or to want to go to parliament and all of that, there are people within the party who would actually feel that, well, this is not somebody we know, this is not somebody who has been part of us, why give the person a chance to go? In your situation, how is it like?
Surprisingly, my own turned out the other way. Okay. Because being a new person, it was expected that at least there would be some heated competition. And when I made that decision to vie for the position to go for primaries, there were a lot of people within Yendi who had even held positions, who had contested other positions, who were also nursing the same ambition of going for the primaries. But surprisingly, when I came, and then I came to the Senate and I started doing my movement, and everybody was doing their own things, later it became clear that I was the best choice. So people who had even been involved in active partisan politics had to just give way for me to go, because they saw that this was the obvious choice.
What actually put you ahead of other colleagues who were deeply involved in activities pertaining to the National Democratic Congress?
I think, you see, let me be frank with you, I will not be able to tell, because for me, they saw me as the candidate who stands the greatest chance of winning NDC seat.
Why do you think that you stand the greatest chance of winning the seat? Currently, the Yendi seat is in the hands of a New Patriotic Party, I guess. And this is a seat that has been in their hands for quite some time now.
Yeah, but we won it in 2008.
Exactly. And they have taken it from... fantastic. So, how do you intend?
Yeah, so I sometimes I hear people say, oh, Yendi is a strong role of MPP, and that is not scientific.
Okay.
Especially if you look at the recent developments.
Okay. What's the
when we lost, we won it in 2008.
Okay.
When we lost the seat in 2012, we lost the seat by 8,700 plus votes in 2012. Coming to 2016, we lost the seat by just 3,100 votes.
Okay.
It came down from 8,700 to 3,100.
It dropped drastically.
It dropped. That's a margin of 5,700 votes difference. So if we can use one window, 2012 to 2016, to bring the number down from 8,700 to just 3,100, that was 5,700 plus. That means that if we are able to do same this year, we will be leading by over 2,600 or so votes.
Now let's look at the Yendi constituency, which was previously in the hands of the NDC. Until 2008, the New Patriotic Party snatched the seat from the National Democratic Congress.
No, we only won it in 2008. It was in the hands of NDC.
In their hands, and we won
it in 2008.
So let's look at it this way. After snatching the seat from the New Patriotic Party, what do you think has accounted for your loss? I mean, why you've lost that seat once again to the NPP?
the key factor that helped in NDC's bid in 2008 was the fact that there was so much wranglings within MPP. And so to the extent that there was even an independent candidate who took a chunk of their votes. And so
the votes were divided.
Seriously. You understand? And so it went in favor of NDC. Now, coming to 2016, even with that, still with the presence of the independent candidate, NDC lost by just 3,100. You understand? And so, if you look at it, we may not have played our cards well between 2008 and 2012. You understand? When we won that power, maybe we didn't work as was expected for us to be able to keep the seat for long. So we lost it. You understand? And so now this new drive, and you know, Yendi is a place that hitherto, that is before now, the issue of the chieftaincy issue used to play a critical role. Today, as we speak, there's nothing like that. Today, no one will go to the poll expecting that he would vote for this party so that tomorrow this decision will be taken in favor of this chieftaincy divide or the other. No. So this 2020 election is going to be conducted devoid of any chieftaincy attributes.
But how has the chieftaincy dispute within the enclave affected voting pattern, especially persons who were voted to lead them in power?
That one has historical antecedents. For now, if you go, or before the final resolution of the chieftaincy issue, one side was always seen, one chieftaincy side divide was also always seen as pro this and either pro NDC, anti MPP, and one side pro MPP, anti NDC. So they carried that right from the word go. You understand? And so it was a bit difficult to go and tell this person who belongs to this chieftaincy divide and who by necessity would be a sympathizer of this political party to switch to this political party, because you can switch him politically, but it will be very difficult to switch him in terms of his chieftaincy lineage. So that used to be the difficulty. But like I said, now that is clear, and with me, with my unique situation, I come from both sides of the unique chieftaincy.
But the question is, you see, the chieftaincy institution is detached from politics. So we can have our differences when it comes to, you know,
if you say chieftaincy by law, it's the chiefs.
Exactly.
You understand?
Chiefs are not supposed to engage.
Yes, when they do.
But my issue is that we cannot, as a matter of fact, travel with issues we are having on chieftaincy lines into politics, so to speak. And so I'm trying very hard to understand how that has affected.
It's just the way politicians in the past have also conducted themselves, so that if at this election they make promises are made that we know you have this chieftaincy problem, vote for us. When we win power, we'll do this.
So you mean that with time politicians have been doing politics with the issues,
so it kind of polarized the whole thing. But like I said, for now we are going with a clean slate. No more chieftaincy issues.
How would that translate into votes for you in the constituency?
Perfect. One, that strict position, that used to be the case, that I would never vote for NDC because I'm this, or I will never vote for MPP because I'm this, will now be a thing of the past. And so people are now going to vote based on certain issues other than those. Now, I happen to be someone who is from the place, from Yendi. I was born in Yendi. I had my primary education there, my JSS there, my SS there. So I have mates all around. Now these are people I relate with every now and then. You understand? And so these are people who come from these two sides, like myself. Some will come from Abu, some will come from Mandan. And so if in any way this was going to play out, the chieftaincy was going to play a game. Now, your people would feel that, though you are this, you are NDC, because we are this, we will never associate with you. But because that is no more the case, it's going to now be based on your relationship with the people, how well you put yourself before them, what vision you have for them.
Talk of your relationship with the people. What is your relationship with the good people of Yendi?
In fact, like when we started, you were asking what would have prompted my decision to contest. It's because of the relationship. the people have always seen that anytime I'm involved in activities, I am able to bring people along. I am able to serve and serve well. To the extent that I have held leadership positions at every stage of my education in Yendi. You understand? That itself is clear testimony that at least I have led some people and I can lead. It means that I have that record compared with my counterpart who has never led anybody, who has never led any group, and so you can't tell whether he has the attributes well grounded enough to lead any section of the people. And so that relationship that I built right from the word go, my childhood, I was also a big sportsman. Full time, in fact, to the extent that I even captained the zonal team of END. And so popular among the sports people, popular among the my mates, my Makaranta mates, and everybody. And I kind of mingle with everyone.
All right, viewers, you're still watching Hot News Radio on Pan African Television with me, Justice Appiah. We are in a conversation with lawyer Fattah. Is it Fattah Al Hassan?
Yes, Abdul Fattah Al Hassan. Lawyer
Abdul Fattah Al Hassan, parliamentary candidate on the ticket of the National Democratic Congress for the Yendi constituency. We are looking at his decision to contest the seat and what makes him think that a seat that has been a traditional one for the New Patriotic Party, they only won it in 2008, and he has been snatched back by the MPP. He would have the edge over other, candidates, including that of the one from the New Patriotic Party, to win that particular seat. And so we are in that conversation with him. We'll pretty soon move to what he has done for the people of Yendi, that he would want them to vote for him or to be the obvious choice to lead them in parliament. But Lord, now let's look at this. Yendi, let's look at the constituency and the ills. Apart from the fact that you have good relationship with the people in the constituency and all of that, what else? There should be something that should prompt you to say that, well, I would want to serve my people. Because if it is going to parliament and all of that, helping them in doing A, B, C, and D, you could have done that, without necessarily going to parliament.
Thank you.
So tell us the edge. I mean, apart from having a very good relationship with them.
Thanks so much. Actually, it also comes from my education.
Okay.
When I came to university, I read political science, basically politics, for 4 years. From there, I went to do law for 7 years. And so, if you look at that blend, law and politics, you ask yourself, where can you best use that knowledge? You understand? There's no better place to use that than parliament. Because parliament is occupied by politicians, and law is what they use in their daily work. And so if you look at, because when you go to school and acquire knowledge, you should be looking at avenues to explore, to use that knowledge, else it becomes a rusty thing for you. So I never wanted to let this go waste. So I said, no, I'll look for an avenue that I can explore this. And I feel that parliament is where lawmaking is being done at, is annotated. And politicians are those who are in parliament. So having read politics for 4 years and having read law for 7 years, I feel the two are bedfellows. And so the best place for me to go is parliament. Secondly, we all are in the constituency and we see the problems in the constituency, and we all grumble, we all complain. And sometimes you ask yourself, is that all you can do? All you can do is sit back and complain. Is there something you can do positively to change the status quo? And so if I became a bit convinced that the problem we are facing in Yendi is to do with leadership. It's to do with leadership.
What about leadership in the Yendi constituency? Are you saying that with time all the leaders we've had, or persons who have led the constituency, were incompetent, were not good enough?
I can't use that expression, incompetent or not good enough, but haven't served as expected. They haven't served to the admiration of the people.
They have not served to the admiration of the people. The people are best people to tell whether those people have served to the admiration or not.
That is why when you go, in my tour, when you move from any one community to the other, all you hear are promises politicians have made to them and how they have failed them over the past. That is why I am one politician that I am very careful in what I say. I don't make promises by heart. I go to this community, I tell them only what I can do for them. And I tell, because tomorrow I want to be judged by what I've told them and what I've been able to achieve. I think in the bid to seize power, we make too many promises. We are carried away by that eagerness, that desire to capture political power. So we end up making promises.
What promises did they tell you were made to them and were not fulfilled?
A lot. Almost at every stage you go to, especially communities that don't have light. Sometimes you let them know the processes involved. Sometimes, yes, they understand. They know that before they get this has to be done. Before they get this has to be done. Now, when you go, because they demand this, then you say that in less than this, when you vote me into power, I'll produce this for you. I always try to cut my coat according to the size of my cloth. Tell them the truth, because that's what I've been known for. I tell them what I can do, what I intend to do. Sometimes they understand and they buy into it, rather than you go with lofty promises. And that's the bane of our, you go and hype people's expectations, and tomorrow when you get the power, you are not able to fulfill those promises. And we have countless of those. And that's one thing I want to veer off from. Okay. And so people will expect that you go and say big things to make people clap and do those things. But when I'm speaking, I ask myself, tomorrow if they ask me these questions, will I be able to answer them back?
Now, let's look at some of the challenges within the constituency that you would want to solve, if given a nod.
One big challenge is, especially, it's in almost every aspect. Health is one key challenge. Okay. The Yendi Hospital is one hospital that serves a number of constituencies. Constituencies like Saboba, Zabzugu, those Yendi Hospital is supposed to be a very big hospital. Okay. Unfortunately, it's big in size. It doesn't have what it takes to serve the kind of people that it's supposed to serve. And so you go there, almost everything you have to go out to get it from outside, especially with the health insurance. You go there, sometimes apart from your file, almost everything, even plaster, you may have to go and buy. Para, you have to go and buy. And so the Yendi Hospital itself has to be looked at. Okay. As one key thing that, God willing, if I am given the mandate, we will have to look at what exists that the hospital needs to get to be able to serve its people best. Okay. Because once you can't fix your health needs, then you are doomed as a society. Okay. You are doomed as a society. On health, I've always said that because I have had all my education except the university level in Yendi, I happen to have serious appreciation, good appreciation of the quality of education there. Perfect. But you see, it comes from the teachers. If you have a system that looks at only the students, they shouldn't pay fees, they should do this. It's just only looking at the student aspect. That is not enough to drive the quality you want. Okay. You want to motivate the teachers. And so one way I'm looking at addressing that angle is to set up the Teachers Resource Center. Okay. That center would be solely for teachers. It will have a recreational facility. It will have free internet hub. It will have, at every stage, for instance, you have the primary internet facility, okay. You have the JSS and the nursery, so that at all times, whoever walks in, any teacher who walks in, depending on which area he's expected, if he's teaching SS, he knows which section to go to get what material. And then teachers need to be able to move away from the school environment without going home, to relax, take some fresh air, do their research work, and then come back to school. So that is one area I would look at, establishing a teacher or teacher resource center that would make internet affordable and available, always available. And then another thing we should look at, or I would be looking at, is in the I'm a sportsman. When I started, I forgot to mention that. Well. That's even where my name Jufa is coming from. I'm a big sportsman. So sports is another issue I want to, because I've always had a feeling that once you are very active in sports, you have that sharp brain to grasp things fast in class, and you are able to do better. And so volleyball, football, volleyball is gaining so much grounds in Yendi. Okay. And it is my intention to make Yendi the volleyball hub of the Eastern Corridor region. If that's one area you can easily develop and even get people come to play at national level, because these are young guys who on their own, you see them doing wonderful things. I am part of that group. They have an association because I'm a player, a volleyball player. I'm part of that association. And you see that burning desire of the people to do certain things on their own. Football, a lot of football teams, now some of them are playing at various levels of our league. They need that push. They need the support. Another big one is our women.
Okay. What about our women?
Our women need so much support. They need shoulders to stand on. Anytime you meet the women, there's only one thing you hear about them. They need to have regular supply of cheap credit.
Okay.
You give them loans at 0 interest. Give them let it be regular. Sometimes we wait during elections, then we come assembling them, writing their names to give them loans. That's one thing I said I won't do. If I write your name today to give you loan, I'll give you the loan post the election, because chances are people are trying to use their current desperate situation to woo them. The women need serious support. They need shoulder to stand on. They need to be given cheap credit so that they can always be at the market, because the women are naturally business people. And you see, when the women are happy, the home is a happier place. Okay. You understand?
Very well.
And a lot of other. Farming is one area. Currently, when you go to the communities, what they tell you is that, yes, we are getting a lot of farm produce, but the market for those produce is just out.
Okay.
If you look at how much, years back, how much they used to get in selling, say, a bag of cassava, and what they get today, less than half of what they used to get some years back. And so the farmers struggle. They get the produce, but when they take the produce to market, the market is not there. They end up selling it at peanut, and that is not able to sustain them. That's not able to help them do the things they have to do, meet the expenses that come their way in life and other things. So the challenges in water is key. You know, Yendi water problem is a known fact, and it's been in existence for some time. And we've had situations where politicians have come to promise that they are fixing our water problem time and again, and that has never yielded any positive results. The water problem is one thing that we intend to fix once and for all. Currently, what we are doing is to be supportive.
Wait a minute. We'll come to the water project that you have started in Yendi. I think I have some videos and pictures that will be shown pertaining to what you've started in Yendi already. Okay. But we all know that the primary work of a member of parliament is to make law. So they go to parliament to make laws. You have enumerated a lot of things you would want to do for the good people of Yendi. Yeah. How do you intend to do that? Parliamentarians do not carry out such developmental projects.
They do to a large extent. Because
to what extent do they carry out some of those, developmental projects?
You see,
what you know is that their core mandate is to make laws.
Yes, that is, you see, when you represent people, you are supposed to know the problems they face. Okay. You are supposed to convey these problems to Parliament. Involve yourself in active deliberations in Parliament. Okay. To ensure that the problems your people face are brought to the fore. People get to hear about them. Sector ministries are always prompted. You are on their nerves to make sure you get what.
So you lobby.
So that is key. Okay. It's one key thing that, as a politician, if you go to Parliament and all you do is to sit and make laws and not do that lobby, not push for your community to get what you, then you'll be sure of your exit the next time.
Giving loans, for instance, and one of the things you've said in helping the women, cheap credits and all of that. How do you then to do that as a member of Parliament? Because you've said that you are not going to start writing names and be giving them loans now. But you feel that post-elections, when you are giving the nod, that is the right time for that to be done. How do you intend to do that?
You see, there are a number of NGOs and other organizations that are willing to support the women. You understand? And there are these savings and loan schemes. For them, they can give, but they give at cut-throat interest rates. Okay. You take it and you can pay. Usually, that's the main problem that our people have. Okay. Now, when you are able to get them, sometimes, you are giving this loan to this number of women. How much is the interest they're supposed to pay on? If You do the calculation, I will absorb the interest. Let the loan be flowing to the woman. Then I absorb the interest. You find people who would help you absorb the interest off the shoulders of the woman. There are also some NGOs who are willing to come in and see the woman do one thing or the other. And so you lobby, bring them on board, see the areas they can support the woman. Most of them have their areas. Is it shea butter? You understand? Is it granite oil? Is it this? Is it that? Those areas, when they come in, you are able to let them. These are people who can even give the loans out to the people and at interest-free rates. You understand? And so there are ways I can, as the MP, I can absorb the interest and let the loan go minus interest to the women so that they benefit from it. Sometimes it doesn't help when you see these women, they go for these high interest loans because they have no other option. You understand? So these are ways, one, to make sure as much as possible we are able to absorb the interest and let the loan go to them. Lobby, get some NGOs, get some other organizations who have various interests, and there are a number of them across, who can go in and support this women's group or the other.
Now let's move to the next stage of the conversation. To whom much is given, much is expected. Yendi has made you a lawyer because Yendi has built you up. You've held leadership positions throughout your years in Yendi when you were attending school and all of that. Lo and behold, you continued to the university, studied political science. Afterwards, you studied law. Today, you are a senior lawyer, I'm told, and I know, right? What specifically have you done for the good people of Yendi that you are asking them of their vote today?
Thank you so much. That site is a site that touches me so much. Okay. Because I remember in 2013, exactly, I think in August or September, when I appeared before a panel at Gimpa, the Gimpa Law School, and I was being interviewed. Okay. I think Abuchi and Ku were there. They were interviewing me and they asked me, why do you want to read law? I still remember the answer I gave them. I told them that since I was born in Yendi, up to date, I've never seen any lawyer practice in Yendi.
You've not seen any lawyer practice
in Yendi? That's how he's stationed in Yendi, practicing and serving the people of Yendi. Okay. And so I told them that once I'm given the opportunity that I was seeking from them, and I get through the process and get called to the bar, one of my major priorities will be to serve the people of Yendi. And I'm happy I'm doing just that. Okay. Currently, I have cases I'm doing. Today, you can see, I went to court in the morning. It wasn't on any commercial distance. This, Ashama, this is a young guy who came into conflict with the law. Okay. He's from Yendi. Okay. The full name is, I don't want to give the full name. You don't want to disclose that. Yes, but he's in conflict. And I went to the court purposely for him today. He is being in custody since 26th of June 2019. They have not tried him. They have not taken him to court. They've just left him there. He's languishing in jail. Okay. In cells. And so, and now in Yendi, for instance, next Tuesday, Monday, 19th, I'll be in the Tamale High Court. I'll be doing not less than, I think I'll be doing like 2 cases. These are all appeals from the Yendi District Court, Yendi Circuit Court, of people that I feel have been wrongly convicted. You understand? And so I'm doing a number of cases. On Tuesday, 20th, I'll be in Bimbila.
So is that to say that you are offering pro bono services
to the people? In fact, it's one of the reasons why I am that poor. Yes, because when I especially when it has to do with, I don't know, when it has to do with someone from my place. Some of the cases I'm doing, especially the 19th one I'm doing, some of them I file with my own money. Okay. I don't even ask you to bring money for me to file. I file with my own money, and I prosecute the case. I charge no fee. Okay. And I do it with the passion that it deserves, because the people need a representation. Exactly. They need that assistance, and that's what I'm there to offer them. And this is what I will continue to offer them at all times. Be it in Accra here, Ashama, Agbogboloshi, or Yendi. That's all I do. I do cases for my people and to serve them.
Lawyer, yes, I mean, that's a good thing to do, and I love that, because there are people in one way or the other who are languishing in jail for doing nothing. That's good. Fantastic. And I think that when those cases are taken up, it is good enough. I pray that it will someday extend or be extended from Yendi to other
places,
obviously. But we need to also look at our home first.
That's true.
And then take care of those places.
That's true.
But now, apart from such pro bono cases offered to, the people from home, what other things? Because I'm told that you started construction of some boreholes. What about that? Tell us a bit more about that.
Yes.
And I would want my director to display that for us whilst the interview is ongoing. The boreholes, actually.
Yes. I what I've realized is that, like I stated earlier, the water issue is still a big issue. And so, as politicians, somebody like me, and I moved into an area that brought the issue to close to my door. And so when I moved into that area, Guntingli, initially what I was doing was I would bring water tankers around to serve the women. So the women would normally bring their containers to my place and then fill them and then move the water to their homes.
Okay.
With time, I looked at it, it wasn't a sustainable thing. So I said, I brought in this huge equipment that was supposed to come and scan, look at the place and get where we could get water.
So briefly, as we can see, viewers, the pictures are displaying on the screens. The developmental project he has actually started. We all know that the issue of water in Yendi has been a problem way back. But he's here to go to Parliament. He sees that as a need and one that he would have to solve for the people as soon as possible. So that is what you are seeing on the screens. Lawyer, you can go ahead.
Okay. So the water issue is still... Now what I've seen is that a lot of the communities, the boreholes were built for them, were constructed for them, but they have been left to rot away.
Okay.
And so it's like that maintenance thing is not in us. And sometimes it takes 1/10 of what you need to construct a new borehole just to fix that one.
Okay.
So I have sent a team around, and they've gone through almost every community to ascertain these problems. And now what we do is we make sure that as soon as possible, because between now and elections, I can't tell anybody, I can't tell you that I'll construct this number of boreholes. No. But at least I'll get your water back. And that is the primary thing.
So how many boreholes, dilapidated boreholes, have you fixed?
Currently, the list I have has almost 20 communities. And some of them have 3 boreholes, some 2 boreholes. So if you do them, I have not counted them in terms of the numbers, the individuals, but I've counted in terms of the communities. That if some are having 2, 3, so in all we should be talking about no less than 30 boreholes. You understand? Then minus the ones I am doing as fresh boreholes
from the scratch.
From the scratch, those that have gone to start afresh, and some have finished.
I think it will be appropriate for us to know some of the communities within Yendi that you have started from scratch, and we've done where you have repaired some of the dilapidated ones, and they are working currently.
I have done the first one was done in Guntingli, Guntingli area.
Okay.
There's one that's about 80% through in Gagboni area. That's for the fresh ones.
Okay.
And there are 2 more we are looking at establishing before the end of December. With those that we have fixed, we have the Panduli, which is just behind my place. It's a community behind my house. Then we have Chakoaya, we have Pualili, we have Napachi, we have Soani, Borido. These are areas some of them. For instance, the 20 I was talking about, those ones we are now going and then identifying the problems, and then we started with. But those I've mentioned, like the Pualili, the Napachi, the Panduli, the Chakoaya, those ones have all been fixed, and so water is currently running. And some of them, what I do is that I don't leave it there. We monitor. So some of them you do that, and in a month's time they come back to you that something is down again. Then you go back and fix. And so my priority is to get water to be running.
Okay.
You understand? So I use this smart way. I am coming from an opposition party. You understand? So you don't have that much resources.
Exactly.
So you don't go starting things. When you go to this committee and they have 3 boreholes that have all been broken down, they are all idle. And so if you come in to say you do another 4th borehole for them, let's look at the problems that are associated with those 3 boreholes. For all you know, fixing all the 3 boreholes will cost you much less than constructing a fresh borehole. You understand?
How much have you spent in constructing these boreholes and then fixing these dilapidations?
Not until the whole exercise is I've not even thought of putting the figures, because putting up a new borehole like this for the Gontili community cost me not less than, it cost me between 8,000 and 10,000 Ghana cedis.
8,000 and 10,000 Ghana cedis.
Yes, for one community. You understand? So that's for the fresh ones. After fixing of the borehole, that is not so much.
Okay.
But I see that those are the low-hanging fruits. And those are the things that will make, because I want water to be running.
Okay. Fantastic.
So
now let's also look at areas of roads.
Yes, there are other areas
of construction work. Per my research, actually, I've seen some construction works. I asked, and then I'm told that those works have been started.
Yes, sometimes I ask myself, especially in this year that was this very year that was declared as the year of roads, you still have serious issues with our roads in Yendi. I have not seized with the ability to construct roads. But those areas, sometimes I look at certain areas and they need urgent attention.
Okay.
And so when I see those areas, for instance, we have the substation, Yendi substation route.
Okay.
What I've done is to get equipment to, we go gravel the whole place and then level the whole place. Sometimes you see the potholes, they have just turned into manholes. When it rains, people are not able to move through.
Okay, so let's look at the roads. If my director is listening, kindly display the roads too. Fantastic. He has already done that. Go ahead.
Yeah. And then one of the very recent projects we did was the Yendi market issue.
Okay.
The Yendi has one of the biggest markets you can find.
But the roads, let's look at the roads that you have actually done.
Yeah.
Which areas in Yendi can we?
So the first one, like I said, is the substation route, the Yendi substation. That's the substation route. A lot of patches were done. A lot of potholes were fixed. And then the Gontili, we have this stretch that I think it's about 400 meters away from the Gontili Palace.
Okay.
The Gontili Nas Palace. Going down, sometimes you are driving there. When you get there, you are asking yourself whether you should go straight or you should go left or you should go right. And so I look at all this. Though I am not in a position to fix the road, but some of those ones, at some point I said, no, something has to be done about them. So I got this equipment that went on site, and then within a matter of hours, they were able to go around and put these roads into good shape.
Okay, so one would ask, at what point did you decide to engage in these activities? Is it at the point where you thought that you would need the people of Yendi to vote for you?
Perfect.
Or is it something that you've been doing even before you harbored the dream of going to Parliament?
I remember my first intervention in the area of assisting women was done around 2013, 2014.
Okay.
That was, at that time, I never even could imagine myself sitting today to vie for the position of Member of Parliament for Yendi. I never could imagine myself. I did that. About almost 30 women were selected. They were given interest-free loan. They were given mobile phones. There was a facility put up for them, and their lives have not been the same. They were supported to in their own business activities. I remember in 2010, I participated in this what do you know quiz competition, and I was the first runner up.
Okay.
And I got a huge chunk, a quantity of mosquito nets. At that time, the issue of malaria was a topical issue.
Very well.
And so I quickly took it was over 400 to 500 pieces of mosquito net.
Okay.
I went straight to my hometown Yendi and distributed these things. I sent this to the Yendi hospital. This was not at the time I needed political boost. I have done, and farmers, I keep farming for people year in, year out.
Okay.
I keep them. Those are individual support I give. Sometimes in a year, if I put together, I can support like 50, 60 farmers, just like an acre or two on my own. These are just my own support that I give them. So there are some you can say are things that are being done currently during this political season, but a lot predate my my decision to contest for this post.
All right, let me bring some of our viewers in, because I've seen a lot of messages here, and then some also on Facebook and all of that. This one says, Lawyer Joffa is a gift from Allah to we the people of Yendi. We are proud of you, senior. From Mohammed in Sanson. Is it Sanson or, I don't really get it. This one says, good evening, my boss. Please tell Lawyer that Allah will bless him for the good things he is doing for my brothers in Yendi. And inshallah, he will be victorious come December 7th. I'm Nuruddin Zito from Insawam Zongo. Nuruddin, thank you so much for your message. Lawyer Joffa, I think he's the best for we the people of Yendi. We have the vision, and I pray he won the coming election. Farouk is, oh sorry, I mean you can't call somebody a fraudster, I'm sorry. Nuruddin from Yendi, Joffa all the way. Nuruddin, thank you so much for your message. You know, good evening. We the good people of Yendi will forever be proud of our incoming MP to be for a brilliant submission this night. We are assuming him of massive turnout to vote for him come December 7th. I have been with him and know what he's capable of doing. Hashtag Yendi for Lawyer Fatal Joffa. Zakaria in Yendi sent in that one. Zakaria, thank you so much for your message. This one says, good evening, Justice, and to Lawyer Fatal. My brother is an intellect, though, but he cannot win the Yendi seat even if he goes to consult the Oracle of Delphi. God has already chosen Hajj Farouk Aliu Mahama for now and many more years to come. I am Hassan Hussein. Thank you. Hussein, thank you so much for your message. You have only one vote, actually, and at the end of the day, your vote alone cannot determine who the winner is going to be. This is the kind of young politician we were waiting for. People that are willing to serve us, not for us to be worshipping and saluting them. Lawyer, may Allah make victory yours come December 7. You've sent this. You said you are Kutum. You didn't tell us where that has been
from Cape Coast.
Sent from. Okay, Cape Coast, I guess. Sure. This one says, good evening, Mr. Host. Great Lawyer Fatal for me. The people of Yendi will surely reward him for his good works. Come December 7th. Hassan from Zabzugu. Please tell him to give me his number. All right, okay. I'll speak to lawyer after the program and see if I can give his number out. This one says, good evening to you, Justice, and to your guest, Lawyer Joffa. Yendi need people like him to represent us in Parliament, not Farouk's type. Tijani in Yendi. Tijani, thank you so much for your message. We are fortunate to have a young, vibrant lawyer as our parliamentary candidate in Yendi constituency. Al Hassan Gomda sent in that one. Al Hassan, thank you so much for your message. Lawyer Fatal Joffa all the way from Tough Malian inside Yendi. Tough Malian, thank you so much for your message. This was good evening, Justice, and to your guest, Lawyer Abdul Fatal Joffa, affectionately called Lawyer Pariga. It is obvious that the good people of Yendi constituency have finally gotten the Messiah they have been looking for over the years. We can't wait to vote for you come December 7th, 2020. Salma Faris, inside Yendi, member, Progressive Youth of NDC. Thank you so much for your message, Faris. This one says, good evening to our humble lawyer, Pariga. Yendi people are grateful to the Almighty for bringing us to our Messiah. We can smile with hopes that our problems are solved when he finally becomes our MP. From Rashid. Rashid, thank you so much for your message. This one says, good evening. We the good people of Yendi are monitoring and we are throwing our support for you to vote for you massively come December 7th. From Don Political Parrot inside Yendi. Good evening to you, Mr. Appiah, and to my humble and affable lawyer, Al Hassan Abdul Fattah. Honestly, a representation for Yendi, other than the brainy and visionary lawyer in Parliament of Ghana, will be a misrepresentation. Hashtag John, Jane, and Joffa for 2020. Al Hassan Basiru, member, communication team, Yendi constituency. Thank you so much for your message. Well, this one also, so we have a lot of messages. This one says, whatever you can do or dream, you can begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. Honorable Joffa, we know you can do, and we know that you are doing. That is why we are with you. In fact, we can't wait to vote for you in December. Already success is yours, inshallah. Is by Joffa's brother. All right, thank you so much for your message. Sometimes keep the message short, simple, and concise. This one says, this is Gandu, the lawyer Aduna of Yendi. Your track record makes you exceptionally better than your counterparts. The people of Yendi are Blechina. Is it what is it?
Yeah, Blechina.
Yeah. And they will certainly shun the lofty promises from promises that never saw the light of day, and vote for you come December 7. Inshallah, from Odimi in Yendi. Thank you so much for your message. This was good evening, Justice. My regards to the affable lawyer Al-Hassan Fatah Jofa. Your competence coupled with the philanthropic work and the innate genuineness of the people of Yendi will make you win the upcoming election. No amount of pomp and pageantry or vulgar display of opulence can serve the MPP in Yendi. From Adam Khalid. Thank you so much for your message. It looks like your people really love you so much. Good evening, Justice. My regards to the incoming MP, Lawyer Abdul Fattah Jofa, aka Lawyer Pariga, for wonderful submission, Justice. In fact, 2020 election is going to be one touch victory for Honorable Lawyer Abdul Fattah Jofa for his good works done so far in the Yendi constituency. Hashtag for John Mahama and Jofa by de facto member of Progressive Youth of the NDC in Yendi. He has actually sent some of your works also here.
Powerful group. It's a group.
Okay, viewers, good evening, Justice. Say hi to my revered brother and soon-to-be MP for Yendi constituency, Lawyer Abdul Fattah Jofa. Inshallah, he will surprise the masses by winning the seat come December polls. Detractors would be ashamed by 9th of December 7. Mujib Ronaldo, Greater Tichiman. Thank you so much for your message. Good evening, Justice. Lawyer Jofa is a mizar for the people of Yendi. His submissions are apt and devoid of any derogatory comments. He is such a humble guy with so much can-do spirit in him. My prayers are with you, Jofa. From Olu in Tamale. Olu, thank you so much for your message. Let me take some few and then come back for us to, be wrapping up. Bravo to our able and soon-to-be MP. Your response to your questions alone show that you are going to give it to the stranger who cannot point to the good people of Yendi for even a single structure his late father built for Yendi, even a single room. Kaiba. Some of you will bring problems. So, anyway. This one says, the good people of Yendi said, thank you for the humanitarian works that you're doing. The constituents are solidly behind you and said they will send you to the Parliament House come December 7 as your reward for helping them immensely. This is Tofik Saifa from Yendi. Tofik, thank you so much for your message. In fact, lawyer, we are so proud of you. Keep it up. Your brother Abdullah Akwana in Yendi sent in that one.
Okay.
This also says, good evening, Jay, and to your panelist, Lawyer Jofa. Jay, Lawyer Jofa will emerge victorious because when you look at Yendi, all the development are done by NDC. Inshallah, come December, Lawyer will be victorious. Yakubu in Yendi sent in that one. A young barrister, we are really proud of you. It's about brain and service, not money sharing. We don't vote based on who your father is or was. Thank you so much. Afa Karim in Yendi sent in that one. You mean that people are riding on their father's glory. Good evening, Justice. This year election in Yendi is not going to be Abudu and Andani. That one is over. Jofa all the way. Lawyer Bakupe by Dr. Adam Abdul Fattah in Zabzugu. Thank you so much, Doc, for your message. From Gabon, Ada MP, he's watching us in Gabon. He says, Mr. Justice, nowadays, if I send you a message, you don't read it. Why? I have read your message today. Kindly forgive me for not reading because we have a lot of messages, and as I speak to you, there are lots of messages I'll be unable to read. They are here. Good evening, Mr. Host. Greet our lawyer Pariga for me and let him know that he has already won the elections. Eliasu Striker sent in that one. Eliasu Striker sent in that one. Hello, good evening, Justice. Extend my greetings to a humble servant, Lawyer Fattah. Indeed, he has all the leadership qualities, such as humble personality, not the so-called brand or guy personality May Allah grant us good health and long life with prosperity. It is an epitome of knowledge in the contemporary politics. Al-Hassan Arimiyao Gomda. Thank you so much, Al-Hassan, for your message. Good evening, Mr. Host. My regards to lawyer. Best wishes to you. Amin Justice, 64 bench of NDC. Thank you so much for your message. Good evening, and good evening to Lawyer Jofa. Lawyer should know that we are in the 21st century and we don't promise, but we deliver. This is exactly what Alhaji Farouk Aliyu Mahama is doing in Yendi, and will vote massively for him. From Abdul, member of the MPP Patriot in Yendi. Thank you so much, Abdul, for your message. Lawyer Jofa, Mustafa, you see, what you've actually sent, that one there, I can't read it because you've sent it. You didn't send it in English. Correct cause a career and in fact, President Akufo-Addo's obliviousness to the insecurity or security lapses in the country is appalling. We are not talking security. We are talking Lawyer Jofa and his bid to Parliament. Good evening, Justice Appiah. We, the people of Yendi, are most grateful for the extraordinary opportunity given to our PC and MP hopeful for Yendi constituency. Lawyer Fatah Jofa, our next MP for Yendi constituency. Inshallah, we are much more proud of you. Inshallah, come December 7, 2020 general elections, JM Zu and Lawyer Jofa Za from Al-Hassan Yakubu, Yendi constituency, Umbrella Communication, and Yendi NDC Eagles. Thank you so much for your message. You have Eagles in your constituency too?
Yeah.
Okay, the Eagles. Yeah. Okay, the Eagles.
Powerful group.
Lawyer Jofa, victory is yours by Manan in Yendi. Manan, thank you so much for your lawyer. A lot of messages here. Unfortunately, I'll not be able, because we have some few minutes to wrap up. But I would want you to wrap up with us and tell the good people of whatever you want to tell the good people of Yendi, and also why you think that you are the best person to lead them in the upcoming elections.
Thank you so much. To wrap up, I offer Yendi truth and integrity.
But before that, I'm told that there's this road leading to the DC's house or something.
I don't want to
working on. I mean,
it's a road. It shouldn't be linked to DC.
But DC's, it is the job of DC's to do.
Unfortunately,
that is their job.
Yes. Unfortunately, it was left like that.
Any other person to construct roads that lead to their house or their homes.
I had to attend to it because I realized it was becoming a major problem.
So don't you think that it is legitimate to discuss and talk about some of these things, because they are developing in our districts?
It is, and I'm surprised you are bringing it up. I wanted to stay clear of some of these things.
I didn't want to push you so hard because there are a lot of things I know you've done, and it will go a long way.
Yes, I am that humble type. I am not. For instance, that's what surprises me. My contender goes about saying he's done this, he's done that. Yet he still goes about claiming credit for projects that are not related to him at all.
Okay.
For instance, on September 22nd, 2020, the business development minister came to Tamale and assembled all metropolitan, municipal, and district assemblies of the northern, northeast, and savannah regions in Tamale, and supported people with disabilities with a total amount of 200,000 Ghana cedis.
200,000.
Yes, there were 300 selected from all, and I'm using all, and I want it to be highlighted. All metropolitan, municipal, and district assemblies within the northern region, northeast region, and savannah regions on the 22nd of September 2020, and gave them support. Immediately afterwards, my coordinator his communicator went on social media. Oh, Farouk secured business support for people living with disability in Yendi. And a whole story was written about it and splashed everywhere. I don't, even things I have done, sometimes I stay away from them, because sometimes when I do my things, when I undertake development projects, I do them for the people. Sometimes I do the things and people say, oh, let's go and commission it. I said, no.
Okay.
What are the people are using? So to me, I offer them that humility.
Okay.
And I want to put myself as that litmus test they want to see how or what leadership is all about. You are serving for the people to appreciate what you are doing. You don't go blowing your own trumpets. even arrogating to themselves or taking credit, arrogating to yourself, taking credit for things that are not in any way related to. Another example is the rural electrification. This is being done across a number of constituencies in the northern region.
Okay.
Yet my contender goes about saying, oh, he has brought in poles. Now party people are going about distributing these poles to communities. And we know who does electrification. It's usually a contractor who will be selected. We have to know the contractor. He has to come and do some assessment. And a lot of things have to be done. But this whole thing of trying to hoodwink you need people into seeing you in this way when indeed you are not that way, it doesn't work. And so I want any people to choose that man of integrity.
Okay.
Choose that man who stands by you.
But isn't this year aware that the road that is being constructed, the road that leads to his house,
is very much
constructing that you are working on?
Because even the day we were working on that
you are the one doing it.
Even the day we were working on that road, he came to drive through. He drove through that.
How did he feel?
He didn't know. He got there only to realize the road was being fixed. Oh. I'm sure if he had gotten wind that I was going to work on that road, he would have found ways of doing it. I'm sure done before my team would get there.
Unfortunately.
Yes. And then we did another big project at the Yendi market, where the market was at some point.
And that one too is this year where that project has been carried out by you.
Yes, everybody, including market women. It was a big project that we did to, and I grew up from the market. My mom was a fufu operator, so I understand the problems in the market. And so I saw that need and went straight into addressing it. And it was a big blow.
Thank you so much, Lawyer, for coming. We are so grateful.
Most welcome.
And this platform is always yours. You can any day, anytime pass by.
Thank you so much. Thank you
for us to have a conversation.
But
you want to greet some few people and all.
Yes. I started with a lot of people. Now let me go. I don't need to repeat the same people, but I want to say a big thank you to Pan African TV for the platform giving me, and then to greet His Excellency, the former President John Dramani Mahama. He is such an asset to Ghana, and I hope as a nation we'll see that and then do the needful, that is Sankofa. His running mate, Puff. She has seamlessly gotten herself into the job, and it's such a nice thing watching her. And everybody, I would like to say big thank you, especially to the people of Yendi, both within and without. Thank you so much.
This one says, good show, senior. Say hello to my brother for me, Oli Flavor, Radio Gold. Oli Flavor, thank you so much for your message. We are so grateful. Lawyer, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Let me say happy birthday to Hindu General. Hindu. Good evening to you and happy birthday. Very well, you can go ahead and we'll go.
Hajia Munira.
Okay.
Such a powerful woman. I was with her at MT, and we're all from Yendi, and we're all doing Yendi Secondary School a lot of good. Some projects. Today is her birthday. I wish her a happy birthday as well.
Okay, Hajia, happy birthday. You are celebrating your birthday with my very good friend Hindu General. Hindu General. Happy birthday to you. Good evening. I'm sure by now the party has started. I'll try as much as possible to pass by before I go home. Take good care of yourselves, and thank you so much for watching Hot News, choosing Pan African Television. Let me say a very big thank you to my cameraman David, to my sound man Titi, my director Sewa and Edem, and also other persons who have been part of this production. I'm so grateful. This time will allow us in the program for tonight. But let me say this before I go. In your bid to choose somebody to lead you, you look at persons who will give you results, not people who would come and give you money, and after 4 years, before they'll come to you once again. I'll show my bias. He's my brother. Lawyer Jofa is the best bet for Yendi constituency. Tried, tested, and proven very competent. Why don't you this time around make sure that you are taking your destinies into your own hands, and make sure that you choose the right leader who will lead you to parliament? Already you've seen a lot of things that he's done within the constituency, not yet in parliament. So ask yourself if he's gotten the opportunity to go to parliament where he can lobby and for more developmental projects within the constituency. So make the right choice and make sure that he's the person you've given the opportunity or your mandate to lead you in the upcoming elections. I'm talking to the good people of Yendi. This is what time will allow us in the program. Make a time with us same time tomorrow. My name is Justice Appiah, and the show has been Hot News. Goodbye.
Thank you so much.